Hey, party people. Hey, what's up, you guys? It is me, Vina Moreno. Welcome into the pre-show before the free show. There's a star on my face.
It's a medically applied star, though. That's what I was told. I got told that's a medical device. Is that true?
It's keeping my heart rate.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show before the free show. I am Greg. That is V&A. A quick weekend check. How was your weekend, V&A?
It was really good. What did I do? You ask me this every time, and then I completely blank. I went to the stockyards.
Very Texas of you.
Very.
I think it's very interesting whenever you meet people who are not from Texas and they find out you're from Texas. And especially people who are like unaware that there are like modern cities in Texas.
Yes.
I think they think the entire state is the stockyards. You know, just like, oh, certainly there's cattle drives down the street of Fort Bend, right?
Yeah. It is very Texas. It is very, very Texas. I went to a Texas de Brazil out there in Fort Worth, and everybody had boots on. Everybody had boots on in the Texas de Brazil.
In Texas de Brazil?
Yes.
That's always been I want to be very clear, I've never been to there.
The Brazilian steakhouse?
No, I never have. I'm not rich like you.
Okay.
So
this is a special occasion.
Oh, yeah? What was a special occasion?
So my brother's birthday.
Oh.
Yes, he likes Brazilian steakhouses.
Raul Jr.?
Yes, Raul Jr.
Yeah, RJ. That's cool. Yeah, I remember when this is now a million years ago, but when my wife and I went to Europe and we were chatting with folks I think we were in Germany. We were chatting with folks, and we had the look of Americans or tourists, and so they asked us like, "Hey, where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, from the United States." And they said, "Where in the United States?" I told them Texas, and that opened up like an entire. They had a million questions.
Ooh, another thing. Most Texans say that we're from. I think we're the only state that say we are from.
Like if you ask me,
Texas, not from America.
Correct. If you were outside the country and you were to be asked where you're from, you would say Texas.
Yes.
Instead of I'm from the United States.
The United States. No, we're from Texas.
Yeah. Nobody from Michigan is just like I'm from Michigan. I'm from the Upper Peninsula. You know, nobody's doing that. Yeah. I think that's
also, you were in Germany?
Yeah.
So, okay, you're over here telling me that I got the monies at Texas or Brazil, but then you just say you're in Germany?
This was almost 11 years ago, before kids. What are you talking about? Yeah, we went to London, we went to Berlin,
Alemania.
We went to London, we went to Berlin, we went to Munich, and then we went to Copenhagen. And
that's pretty cool.
Copenhagen was dope. Copenhagen was awesome.
How was your weekend? Great?
Yeah, I was in Copenhagen. No. My wife had like a girls' weekend, so I was solo dadding and stuff like that.
Sick.
Which is it is very interesting that I think my buddy brought this up. He goes, dads really do have it easy. It's like if you take I will take the boy. I took the boys to like the Frisco Library, right? Because I got a big play area and stuff like that. I'm trying to. It's dump and chase. Like we're trying to kill some time here, and like I take the boys, and like I'm viewed as like, oh man, what a hero you are! Wow, I can't believe you are taking both boys out by yourself. It's probably like moms do that like every day, and it's just like, oh, yeah, it's mom-tivities. It's what moms do.
Mom-tivities.
Yeah. So I'm not. I wouldn't use the word hero, but I wouldn't stop you from using the word hero. We did go to a birthday party on Sunday. Real dad weekend.
Real dad weekend.
And yeah, we just, but of course I was in charge for like all the meals. So like Saturday, going to McDonald's at the Play Place.
Yes.
Right? Sunday morning. Yeah, we're getting up and going to get donuts, boys. Let's go.
Let's freaking go.
Sunday lunch. how do you feel about peanut butter and jelly?
You know
what I mean? Like, we are.
It was a dude's rock.
Let me tell you
weekend.
something. When you are an amateur parent like I am, it's like the NCAA tournament. It is survive in advance. Okay? It is survive in advance. We are not interested in style points.
And they know too.
They're yeah. They're just like, so we can watch all the movies we want? I'm like, you sure can, buddy. Please just don't hurt your brother. I told them. I said the number one rule is we can't go to the doctor. We're not allowed. We can't do anything that requires a trip to the doctor.
Yeah.
Of course. Everything else, of course. Whatever. And certainly we had the everything else, but no, but I gotta tell you,
dudes rock.
My wife left, and the boys had 8 limbs total, and my wife came back, 8 limbs total. So.
Very, very nice of you. Let's go.
Hang the banner, baby.
Let's go. Right. Celebration.
Hit the theme expo.
Oh, okay. Well, that was quick.
Sorry. That was... Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show online. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or you listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making it sound good, working all the sliders and the buttons and the levers and the wheels and the gears. She's our friend, VNA Moreno. Hello, VNA Moreno.
Hello, everybody. It is I, with a star on my face.
Today is Monday, April 20th, 2026. Just 220 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to,
Adam Scott.
Good Lord, bunch of people I've never heard of. It's literally just YouTube star, TikTok star, TV actress. I don't know. I'm old.
What?
Happy birthday to everybody. Happy birthday to everyone who was born on April 20th.
Oh, it was my cousin's birthday.
Happy birthday to VNA's cousin.
Yesterday, Diego. His name's Diego.
Diego.
Woo!
Happy birthday, Diego. Feliz cumpleaños, Diego. Did I do it?
You did great.
It's episode 1931. On today's show, folks, big show. We got headlines from across the state of Texas.
Big show.
A flurry of coaching changes across the state are the headline, but we've also got some recruiting news we're going to tell you about. And then back out the show, Matt Stepp was out in the 325 Greater Abilene area for the Hardin Simmons Clinic. Caught up with the head coach of the Abilene Eagles, Coach Mike Fen. We'll hear from Mike Fen coming up here at the back half of the program if you stick around with us. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Do we have first four through the door?
We do. We have Tony Blaylock, Joey Hill, Rod Jarman, and Red Eyes again, who is asking if the Stars a pimple patch. If anybody was wondering, I fell a while ago, and I'm trying to cover up a wound.
Yeah, VNA, as we've said, VNA got in a knife fight. It happens. I've told her not to. I've told her to stop getting in knife fights, but
it's
you can't ask a bird not to fly. You know what I mean?
Don't
mess with VNA. Anyway, welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. Let's get to some headlines from across the state of Texas, and this one came down really right after we went off the air last Monday. And I wanted to make sure we gave it a little bit of time. And that is that one of the preeminent jobs in 4A, I think it's fair to say, came open surprisingly last Monday, and that is that Canyon West Plains is looking for a new head coach. Canyon West Plains, of course, has been wildly successful under the only coach they've ever known, Adam Cummings. He is a guy who has helped to turn them into an absolute powerhouse. 2023 was the real breakout year for them. They went 12-2. 2024, 11-4. 2025, 12-2. I mean, as far as 4A programs are concerned, especially like fledgling 4A programs, few programs in the state that have been as consistently excellent as Canyon West Plains. But Adam Cummings, this was first reported by our friend Cale Steed at Press Pass Sports, that Canyon ISD named West Plains head coach Adam Cummings as Executive Director of Schools and Leadership. I don't know what that title is, I'm going to be honest, but he's basically moving into Canyon ISD administration. Thrilled for him. That's very exciting. He gets kind of a promotion, right, into the admin role. Very exciting for Coach Cummings. That then opens up a really, really attractive job in Texas high school football. Canyon West Plains is, again, consistently excellent, consistent winner, and I think what Coach Cummings showed is that you can win at the highest level at West Plains. And that is not, those jobs don't come around very often. Now, I will say this, based on my experience, and I want to be very clear, I have not talked with anybody in Canyon ISD. This is me using historical basis to speculate wildly, okay? This job came open on April 13th, okay? And it was in a surprise move. Dollars to donuts, this job stays in-house. Maybe it's an interim situation for the 2026 season, but I have a hard time believing that a program that has been as successful as West Plains has been, where the coach is not leaving the school district, he is ascending through the school district. Especially on April 13th, it is getting late early, folks. I have a hard time believing that West Plains is going to open this up all too significantly. And I would expect this to be an internal hire. That's my guess. Again, have not talked to anybody in Canyon ISD. I do think, however, based on the things that you can kind of connect these dots pretty clearly and say, all right, you guys know me. If you've watched this show, you know that I'm of the opinion that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You've seen that over and over and over again with big-time programs that have come open this offseason. South Lake Carroll needs a new head coach. They promote from within. North Crowley needs a head coach. They promote within. Right? These big-name programs, when they're going good, they tend to stay internal. And especially as these things get later, I think that you are going to see this job stay in-house. That's my guess. If I'm wrong, clip this, roast me, but I don't think I'm going to be. Anyway, West Plains looking for a new head coach. Adam Cummings moving into an administrative role within Canyon ISD. Congratulations to Coach Cummings. Weatherford has been looking for a new head coach. You may remember, Weatherford has been looking for a new head coach ever since, and again, we have to kind of connect some dots here. Okay. So, all roads lead to Hutto, right? Hutto is looking for a new head coach because Eli Reinhardt took a job as the head coach or as the offensive coordinator at Division III college in Michigan. He leaves. That opens up Hutto. Hutto goes and hires Alvarado head coach Casey Walraven to be the new head coach of Hutto. Okay? Alvarado goes and hires Aubrey Sims from Weatherford to be the new head coach at Alvarado. Follow me? That opens up a job at Weatherford, and Weatherford has found their guy. Weatherford has found their guy in Lovejoy offensive coordinator Marshall Williams. Marshall Williams will be the new head coach of the Weatherford Kangaroos. This is a guy who the last couple of years has been the offensive coordinator for Lovejoy under head coach Todd Dodge. Before that, he was the head coach at Keller Timber Creek, where he took the Falcons to 3 playoff appearances. and a 7-4 record in his final season back in 2023. He's also had stints as an assistant at South Lake Carroll, White Settlement Brewer, Round Rock Cedar Ridge, Richland Keller, etc. He takes over this Weatherford program in need of a bit of a jolt after a disappointing 1-9 season. I will say, if you want to talk about a guy who has the kind of pedigree that you would expect, I think you've got that in Marshall Williams. He's got the head coaching experience, obviously, at Timber Creek, but he's also, I'll just be honest. Todd Dodge is picking an offensive coordinator. I trust him. Do you know what I mean? And Marshall Williams has been the offensive coordinator for Lovejoy the past couple of years. He's got some really good quotes on TexasFootball.com. Matt Stepp caught up with him. But Weatherford has found their man. That is Marshall Williams, the Lovejoy offensive coordinator. Meanwhile, let's talk about a twofer in Killeen ISD. You may remember that Killeen was looking for 2 head coaches. Killeen High was looking for a new head coach, as was Killeen Shoemaker. Killeen High was looking for a new head coach after Josh Sadler stepped down to take a job outside of education. They have found their new head coach in North Mesquite defensive coordinator Roderick Sneed. Roderick Sneed will be the next head coach. He's been the defense coordinator at his alma mater for the last 2 seasons, including last year, I thought a real breakout year for North Mesquite, their first playoff appearance since 2015. You may remember him as a guy who played 4 seasons of college football at Colorado. But he is a guy who will be taking over of the Killeen Kangaroos. Boy, big Kangaroos day between Killeen and Weatherford making hires. Also, Killeen Shoemaker has been looking for a new head coach. You may remember that Shoemaker has been looking for a new head coach ever since Toby Foreman left to go take over down in Jasper. Well, they have found their new head coach. Shoemaker has decided to stay in-house, promoting their defensive coordinator, Roy Locks, as the new head coach. He's been at Shoemaker for the last 9 seasons. He also has ties to kind of southeast Texas, but is going to be staying there in the Killeen area. This is so Shoemaker missed the playoffs last year at 7-3. And considering, I think, what Toby Foreman has helped to build there at Shoemaker, I would consider this program to be on good footing. And so I think this makes a lot of sense, again, to stay in-house. They promoted their defensive coordinator, Roy Locks, to be the next head coach of the Shoemaker Gray Wolves. Congratulations to him. Elsewhere, I want to invite you to go to TexasFootball.com because on Texas Football, I did want to tell you 2 things. Rather, one more thing about 6-man teams. Because one of the things that, as you're putting together the 2026 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, we have to get in contact with every high school football team in the state, okay? And to the 63 coaches that we're waiting on hearing from, we're not giving up. All that is to say, we have to get in touch with all these coaches. And we've talked about how there have been a couple of 11-man teams that have announced that they will not be playing UIL football in 2026. I want to add to that we have confirmed at Dave Campbell's Texas Football at least 3 6-man teams that will not be playing. Cotton Center will not be fielding a team. They will be dropping out, at least not be participating in District 3 1A Division 2 play. San Perlita, which was a new addition to the UIL this year, at least for football, they will not be fielding a team. Dave Campbell's Texas Football has confirmed. And Wilson, the Mustangs, will not be fielding a team. They will not be in District 4 1A Division 2. We've got all this up on TexasFootball.com. You can make sure you check that out. Additionally, I want to invite you to go to TexasFootball.com because there is a lot of information about the recruiting side. Because our friends, Big Crute and Little Crute, Greg Powers and Mallory Hartley,
legends,
published last week a bit of an addendum to the class of 2027. A small, little bitty addendum where they named more than 100 new 3-stars. More than 100 new players across the state of Texas have been identified as 3-star prospects, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. That includes some names that you've heard of, like Buck Randall, the Highland Park quarterback, who's been absolutely fantastic. Camden Abels, the outstanding tight end at Hawley, is a new 3-star. Takaiden Brown, the wide receiver at Tyler Legacy, a new 3-star. Brenham Cherney, The defensive tackle from Melissa is a new 3-star, as is Jack Devine, the quarterback at Austin Regents, a new 3-star in the 2027 class. You can find all the new 3-stars on TexasFootball.com. Our database at TexasFootball.com/recruiting is exploding right now. A huge, huge database of prospects. Make sure you go to TexasFootball.com. Those are some headlines from across the state of Texas. I think next week we'll probably be talking about the NFL draft.
Let's go.
Who are the Cowboys taking?
Everyone.
Did you hear the Cowboys signed Brandon Aubrey?
Yes.
Give him $20 million guaranteed.
Finally.
Good for him.
Pay that guy.
That's
he carried. I'm getting his jersey.
Is he from Plano? All right. From around
I'm
here.
not sure.
He's a local guy.
His girlfriend told him to play in NFL. He was like, okay. And then look at him now. He was a soccer player before.
TexasFootball.com/subscribe is where you can become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Get the 2026 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, which it's up on my computer right now. I'm working on it right now. If you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe, you can get the magazine mailed to you before it hits newsstands. Mailed to you before it hits newsstands. If you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Makes a great gift as well. Today is April the 20th, which to shorten it to numerical will give you a reason to celebrate. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Get a gift for today. Coming up here after the break, Matt Stepp caught up with the head coach of the Abilene Eagles, Coach Mike Fen. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Pour some sunshine with new First Light Community Coffee's first ever light roast. This blend has notes of honey and brown sugar that will brighten any part of your day. Try First Light now at communitycoffee.com.
Hello, Candace.
Not you again.
Me again. Remember our last oil change? Your boyfriend said he knew a guy who knew a guy. None of those guys knew what they were doing, including you, Todd.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch our experts change your oil right from your car.
Thanks for coming in.
And finish in about 15 minutes. Valvoline. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Friday night football is here, and Hometown is trusted by thousands of schools across the nation to make game days effortless. Sell tickets online, easily scan them at the gate, track sales in real time, and keep your community connected with a free athletic website. Make every game a Hometown game. Visit hometown.com to learn more.
Every legend starts with a vision. For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear. Tell the story of Texas football like never before. In 1960, he built something no one had before, a magazine that became the Bible of Texas football. Coaches, players, and fans didn't just read it, they lived by it. His words shaped the game. His vision built a legacy. And his name? It will always be written in the story of Texas football. Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where legends begin.
Hey everyone, Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football. I'm out here in the big country in Abilene, Texas at the Hardin Simmons Coaches Clinic, and I'm here with the head coach of the Abilene Eagles, Coach Mike Fen, here at the Abilene War Eagles Fieldhouse. Coach, I appreciate taking a few minutes to chat with us.
Absolutely.
Now, Coach, first off, Coach Burleson and those guys there at Hardin Simmons do a great job putting this coaching clinic together. You've actually got 3 college football programs in town, but specifically with Coach Burleson and Hardin Simmons. He's been around for a while. Talk about just like the collaboration. You guys can, I know you can call Coach Burleson at any point, and he can probably talk ball with you. But for a young coach in the big country to have such a good clinic with speakers from Hardin Simmons, Abilene Christian, Coach Dodge from Lovejoy's coming, Coach Griffin from Georgetown, you can learn a lot of football in this clinic.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. They started it last year, and it was really good, and them doing it again this year, and those guys, they're always willing to help. Coach Burleson, anytime any of our guys want to meet up, he takes time out to have those guys over if it's on the weekend or a weeknight or whatever. But we have a great relationship with Coach Burleson, and in fact we've got 2-3 of our coaches on our staff played at Hardin Simmons, and so there's a good pipeline there. And then we've got players that have played there, and those guys that went from Abilene High to Hardin Simmons to play, now they've come back over here to coach, and Coach Gary, Coach Voss, Coach Schoonmaker. And so, for them to be able to do that and take the time to put this together, I think it's really good. It's a first class clinic, with the way they put things together, and a really good operation.
Now, Coach, looking at your Abilene Eagles ball club heading into 2026, we're, basically football. I don't want to say football season has started, but the wheels are starting to turn. You guys just got spring football kicked off. I know you're getting kind of going, just kind of rolling. What's the biggest things you want to get accomplished with your guys here this spring?
Well, we use the springtime to really identify our offensive defensive line and also create a mentality in along those lines. And so, for us, it's every year. Even if we have linemen coming back, we're trying to develop depth, and so that's really where we utilize it the most, because we've got so many other guys. A lot of our skilled guys are involved in track and in baseball. And so for us, that's the biggest year in and year out. And definitely this year is just establishing that mentality and establishing the players that we need and the mentality that we need on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
You mentioned that building depth, and competition breeds that depth. And if you got, and you know this as well as anyone, you guys have made deep playoff runs in the past. If you want to get into November, December, you're going to have games where guys get nicked up and can't finish it out. And that quality depth, especially come playoff time, is huge, right?
And it really comes, in the spring is when you can really do that. And that's what we tell our guys, this is your opportunity to bring value to the program and find your role, and because by the time you get to August, and you've really got things in place. And so we utilize the spring to find those guys, and there's a lot of young guys that, especially the freshmen or freshmen that are going to be sophomores. They've changed so much since they got on campus that now it's their opportunity. And it, year in and year out, we have guys that come out of the spring that we weren't expecting to be contributors, and they end up being really good contributors.
Interesting. What's your philosophy on with sophomores? I talked to a lot of coaches, and it kind of varies by program, but when you look at, a lot of guys are like, if a sophomore is not going to start, I may not put him on varsity. I'd rather him play JV. Some guys are like, well, if he's in the rotation, we'll let a sophomore go if he's better than the upperclassmen. So when you talk to those freshmen who are going to be sophomores next year and they're in spring, you tell them, hey, if you do a good job, you can win a spot if you have a good spring, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to put the best 11 on the field, and this just to your point, as far as when you get into the district and into playoffs, you need those. And if they're better than the older guy, that's just part of it. And it creates the competition. And we want those guys to feel like, if they can come up and contribute significantly, we're going to utilize them. And so, when we hit the spring, everybody's got an opportunity.
Now, we got your questionnaire in for the magazine, which will be out soon. We're grinding hard on the Dave Campbell's 2026 Summer Edition. And as always, I think you guys expect to compete for a district championship. And then when the playoffs come, try to push that thing to Thanksgiving and beyond. Yeah. If you guys are going to have this successful season that has become the standard here at Abilene High, what's got to go right for your ball club in the fall?
We establish our defensive line, and we've got guys there. It's creating that chemistry, and then staying healthy. And I think we have experience at quarterback definitely coming back, and some experience at receiver offensively, and then on defense, we've got the starters back at most positions. And for us, those guys grow up in our defensive system, and so they're used to it, and so it's next man up. And so really for us, it's establishing that mentality on our line of scrimmage, and then developing depth and staying healthy.
Now, when UIL realignment came out in February, I guess there was a chance. You guys said, obviously, statewide, you guys are considered a West Texas program, but you are the furthest east in West Texas. So there's always that possibility you guys could get shifted into the DFW Metroplex. Heck, even if things got crazy, you can go into Central Texas. You guys stay out in West Texas. You Lubbock Coronado drops down, and you add in Friendship, and then the new high school, Friendship Memorial, which is splitting off from Friendship as they have growth in that area. How do you size up your district? It looks like it's going to be a deep and tough district every week in and week out.
Oh yeah, there's always talent in this district, and then you've got the teams that have been in there, and it's always a week to week battle each week in our district. And adding in Friendship and Friendship Memorial. We've played Friendship when we were in the district with them in 6A. Don't know much about Memorial, but, I know the class of kids that they have. I know the class of kids that are in Lubbock and the class of kids and coaches that are in Amarillo. And so it's definitely going to be, a dog eat dog each week. And so, we're just going to have to be, and when in where we're at, we look to compete every year for a district championship, and our deal is our goals are make the playoffs, put yourself in position, win district, and then, be practicing on Turkey Day. And, if you can line those up, you've got a chance to have a really good year.
Now, you are in an 8-team district, so it means you get 3 non-district games. Tell us your non-district schedule and how you feel like that'll prepare you for that district race.
It's the same. We're opening up with Central. We'll play Cooper our second week, and then the third week we'll play Permian. Because we went to 8-team, we couldn't play Midland Lee, and probably a good thing. But no, I think those playing those teams like that, because you get a different atmosphere at each one. And obviously with Central, they're a great program, a lot of numbers, always have quality athletes. And then you get into the Cooper, when we get into that, you're in a playoff atmosphere.
Oh yeah,
because
big game in town.
It's a big game, and so it's just a big emotional game. And then you come back and you play Permian, and so I mean, just the speed of the game, and then when you get with Permian, they're going to be big and physical, and so you're definitely battle tested, and that's what we want to be. We don't focus so much on our non-district record. We want to win them all.
Sure.
But are we getting better every week? And that's the main focus for us, and that's why we set it up that way.
There he is, Mike Fullen, the head coach of the Abilene Eagles. I know we'll see him out this summer at 7-on-7, and we'll see him at coaching school. Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck in 2026, and as always, we appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas.
Well, thank you.
Thanks,
thank
Coach.
you for all you.
There he is, Mike Fullen, head coach of the Abilene Eagles, Warbirds out there, the big country. Appreciate him taking some time to chat with our jabroni.
Wait, the what? The Warbirds?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool, right?
Warbirds.
Let's go to V&A Moreno for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Hello, everybody. It is time for final thoughts.
Boy, this is going great.
Thoughts,
I can tell.
The thoughts that are final for today.
I can tell that you have prepared and that you're not just vamping to think of something. This is good. No, don't let me get in your way.
The thoughts that are final today.
Oh my God.
Is that
stop just rephrasing the name of the segment.
The ending
That's
thoughts.
like me. That would be like me coming on here and being like, it's a Tuesday, and the Tuesday, one of the things about it is mathematical. And so generally math has addition, subtraction, multiplication. Multiplication.
Go Spurs.
What?
Spurs won their first playoff game in like 7 years, I think. So that one's for you, Pickle.
What?
I know you're what? It's the Spurs. San Antonio Spurs.
Oh
my gosh.
Not Tottenham Hotspur. They're going to get relegated. I've got friends who are Spurs supporters, and they're not happy right now.
Why?
Welcome to the mud, baby, of the championship. I live here. You guys want to watch some second-tier soccer? Hit me up. I know where to find that.
Go Spurs. Those are my final thoughts.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to Mike Fullen, head coach of the Abilene Eagles, for being our guest. For V&A Moreno, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.
Bye.
That camera.